The relations between Bahrain and UK span over 2 centuries and have only grown stronger with time. To talk about these and more, we are here at the residence of the British Ambassador to Bahrain, His Excellency Roddy Drummond, who's given us time to talk about these and more. First, we'd like to offer our deepest condolences on the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Hers has been an extraordinary reign, with so many years of public service, and she's been a role model for many across the world. What are your fondest memories of her?
So it's been very moving to hear everyone here's connections with her over so many years, so many generations. People have shared images and so on with us. But I was very fortunate to meet her when I was High Commissioner to Fiji. And she took so much interest in what was happening in a place that she had known well over 5 decades, and asked such fascinating questions and really wanted to hear what was up to date. She had a great sense of humor as well.
So the relationship between Bahrain and UK spans 200 years, and on a large part it's been built by the two royal families. You've seen such heartwarming pictures of the late Majesty and the late Amir, Sheikh Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa, as well as with Prince Charles and King Hamad riding to Ascot's together. But now there's a period of change. King Charles is ascending to the throne. There's a new Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. How do you see these relations progressing?
So Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth played a huge part in developing our modern relations with the Gulf and with Bahrain. But I have no doubt that His Majesty King Charles, who's been very much a part of that and has strong relationships here with everyone, and other members of the royal family will pay it the same attention. And similarly with the new Prime Minister, Liz Truss. She and other members of her government really understand the strategic importance of our relationships here, the value that attaches to our relations with Bahrain. So I have no doubt that things are going to go from strength to strength.
For a quick moment, I wanted to know what the embassy has on its calendar in this coming year.
So we've got a very busy period coming up, particularly from now till Christmas. Bahrain International Air Show, we're looking for more science collaboration and other things there which are coming together, which there's a few announcements I hope to come. We're hoping for ministers and some senior military people coming for the Manama Dialogue, and we're hoping to organise some reciprocal visits to the UK, including His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, in this next period with a big economic push to thicken up our economic relations.
So you've been in the business since 1985 in your diplomatic career of 35 years. You've been to so many countries. There's Amman, there's Riyadh, there's Fiji. What do you consider your achievements, your biggest achievements in this span of time?
So there were some, interestingly, in Fiji, where I was High Commissioner, helping Fiji through a democratic transition, getting back into the Commonwealth, playing a very positive role now on climate change. But the bulk of my career has been in this region, in the Middle East, dealing with trade and investment, defence, security and political relationships. And that's been hugely rewarding because you can really build very strong relationships here. But we've also had a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed travelling in the desert, crossing the Rub al Khali in Saudi Arabia from north to south, and camping in the desert in Jordan and in Syria. And Jordan, of course, is where I learned Arabic originally, so that's got a very...
That's something I find very, very... The most fascinating thing about you, that you speak Arabic. We'd like you to give a message to our viewers and listeners in Arabic.
شكرا جزيلا. أهلا وسهلا للمنزل بريطاني في بحرين. أنا سعيد جدا لهذه الفرصة هذا المجال. شكرا.
Now, I'm going to move on to a different set of questions because I want to know the man behind the diplomat. Sort of controversial, if you may. The FIFA World Cup is coming up, and both nations, Bahrain and UK, are football crazy. Who do you support in the upcoming?
Well, it's very exciting with both Wales and England having qualified, but sadly not Scotland. But I will be supporting England and Wales till the very last second of extra time in every match that they take part in. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we've also heard that you've been a rugby referee.
Yes, I was a referee and a coach, both of a junior team and an adult team for a number of years, and that was fantastic fun. And we helped plant a little seed by settling rugby in Syria, where it's still played, and they have women's team now as well. So yeah, no, you get a lot of fun out of coaching.
What about motorsports? We've heard you're a fan of that as well.
Yeah, motorsports, particularly F1, and following all the British teams, because we have so many teams that have their base in the UK, and several British drivers. I met Lewis Hamilton, who's an amazing guy. He really is, for someone who's so talented, so humble. I was very impressed with him. But of course, McLaren is the flagship Bahraini investment in the UK in motorsport, and that's very important. So I've also had a bit of fun on the track driving McLaren supercars. So that's been a lot of fun, and occasionally a bit scary.
So Your Excellency, you've lived in so many places in the Middle East. What is your favorite from the Middle Eastern cuisine?
Well, I love madruba, of course, the classic Bahraini dish. But I will eat most things. But I must admit, I'm a little bit nervous of all the sugary things here. So I try and keep it savoury. But there are so many different dishes. So most of the things I cook myself are Middle Eastern influenced. Oh,
you cook?
Yes.
What is the best thing that you can make?
Well, I hesitate to say it because my wife is a better cook than me, but I do some pretty good dishes with rice and lentils and slow-cooked meat. Yeah.
Your Excellency, your role as the ambassador comes with a lot of stress because you have to manage so much. But we've seen you in pictures always smiling and laughing. How is it that you remain so calm? And what do you do in your spare time?
That's a good question. I think I'm a naturally calm and positive person. I've all my experiences have had much more positive things than occasional stressful points. Bahrain's a lovely place, a very relaxing place. So we spend a bit of time looking at Bahraini art. We socialise a lot with different friends. I think we've made friends here with some Bahrainis who I hope will be friends for life. And that's not to be taken for granted, making real friends. So no, life is pretty good here.
So that's all about the trade relations and the diplomatic side of it. I believe you're an art lover because your wife, Yasmeen, is an artist. We're hoping to see some of her work which has been displayed in your house. Let's ask Yasmeen to come in. Yasmeen, take us through some of the paintings that you have done. We'll start with this one. So you can talk us through what your thought process was.
This painting is called A Labor of Love, and it depicts a family and the love that engulfs them. I hope when people stand in front of it, they feel a connection with the painting and they remember their own families and how much love there is in their lives. Can I show you the next painting? This painting is called Separation. I painted it during the time of COVID because I felt that we all wanted to be together and there was this life within us. But because of COVID, we couldn't really have any time together, and I'm so glad those days are over and we can actually get to see each other.
It's so beautiful that you've managed to put together a wonderful representation of what we went through in the last 2 to 3 years.
Thank you, that's very kind. Can I take you to the next painting? This painting is called Strata, and it shows different societies in a community and how certain societies are more visible than others. So you have the bottom part where you hardly see people or they're almost invisible. You have the commuters in the UK where you see a lot of people going on the train and trying to get to work. You have the sort of upper middle class that do also come out from time to time, but then there is the top level that you hardly ever see in a society.
1% or 0.1%.
Well, I'm hoping it's more than 1%, but it is, yes, but it is.
You know, Yasmeen, abstract art is a form that you have to think about. It means different to different people. You've definitely given us a lot to think about, and even as we see the other artwork in your house, thank you so much for introducing us to these beautiful paintings. Thank you for having us in your house as well.
It's very kind of you to come and join me. Thank you. Welcome to our house. Ahla wa sahla bikum.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for having us in your wonderful home, being so charming and giving us so much knowledge about yourself and about the relations between UK and Bahrain. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thank you for coming.